All right, everybody. I'm on the air. Anybody can hear me? Okay. Blurry. All right. Nice. Am I all alone here? Oh, nice. How do I do this? Oh. I can't hear anything. I think it's acting as if it's only me presenting to everybody else. I'm trying to figure out. There's an invite option at the top. Invite people. Add your circle. Okay. I can't see anybody. Anybody have any ideas on how to share this broadcast so that it's not just me? Oh, I see you. There you go. I can see somebody else.
Yeah. Oh, where's everyone else?
Everybody else is trying to get in. So we have Rachel has managed to get in. Anybody else? Yeah, Rachel, we're working on it. Are you watching the chat? They're trying. We're on the original chat we had earlier, and everybody's trying to figure out how to get in.
Okay, so the way I found it was actually by accident.
Okay.
Let's see. I was in Google's Hangout, actually. Yeah, it was some random place. Let me see if I can find it.
It was under the Hangouts?
Yeah. And I saw that I got a message from you, and I was like, oh, yeah. Because I have it on my cell phone, but I wanted to do it on my laptop. So that's where I... Okay. How do I get it?
Well... They're asking.
Good question.
They're asking you how you did it, Rachel.
I
wish I knew. This is all new to me, other than the one video we did for the proposal.
Oh, sorry. Oops. I'm trying to respond to them. Okay, Danielle, I gotta put you down. You're grabbing on my earphones. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. How did I do this?
Switch screens here. I don't think it's something I have to check. Right? Oh, yeah, here we go.
All right. Logan.
All right, Logan, can you tell everybody else that's still struggling how you did it?
Yes. Okay, so I'll have to do it in chat, won't I? Or are they listening?
And I think most of them are listening because they noticed Rachel was there.
Okay, so I just clicked on my Google Plus. In fact, can I screen share? How do I screen share?
It's over on the left.
On the left, there's a green
if you
with an arrow. Green screen with an arrow.
Yes, okay.
There. You want to come? I know who you are.
All right, we got it.
All right. Shall we try this again without me crashing my computer? Or Chrome, at least? All right, so let's see.
Oh my gosh, Daniela. Okay, we're getting you a toy.
All right. Okay, so can you guys see my screen right now? Can anyone hear me?
I can see your screen. I have to see it on the chat just so you can. Logan.
It says I'm screen sharing, but I'm not sure which screen I'm sharing.
I see the your Google Plus page.
Okay, but I'm seeing you and Rachel. It's kind of bouncing back and forth between you and Rachel.
if you select down at the
Okay. Okay. All right. So right here, for anyone who's listening and watching, there's a Join Hangout button. If you just come to your Google Plus and click, like just regular Google Plus, don't click on your profile, you should see that Wendell has this here, and you can watch it if you just want to watch it. But if you want to join the Hangout, you come over here and you click Join Hangout. And then it'll ask you to accept a user agreement, and it'll activate your webcam, and then you should be in. All right, we got, is that Christian? Christian Molina? Or no, that's Daniel. And I actually know Daniel from last semester.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good, Daniel, how are you?
I'm doing great. It's just that I don't have a camera that works tonight.
That's all right, because I think we're going to be doing the assignment on my screen.
Yep.
So, welcome, Alex. Do you see how to get in?
they saw my screen. One of them did. So click the Join Hangout. Not the. What's the other option down there?
The watch one.
Not the watch.
You want to click right here. Funny thing is, I didn't see this option before when I came in. I only saw this one. But
I think it may have been because people were seeing that before I actually started it, and so I'm wondering if you just got a little premature on it.
Yes, I was watching it, and I took the options there that said next event, and I clicked on watch it. But then I went out and I realized that you had to join the conversation on the left side where it's like some pictures there. There are some pictures there, and you have to join the conversation instead of watch.
okay. Well, so we've got this is this Christian? Yeah, Christian's trying to get in. He's just got to install a plugin. So we've got 4 of us here. It looks like most of you were able to make updates to.
Oh, there we go.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right,
Hey.
Sue.
What got it?
So we have Sue and we have Christian, right?
Is it supposed to do this? What's that? Oh,
Uh,
yeah. That's what I was telling you, because it doesn't fit right there. Don't stitch it all the way to that edge.
I think you need to take all
Take
those
this one
pockets out of the floorboard of the
pull this
car.
out.
that you got
Don't
splotches
stitch all the way to the edge. Because
So
these
what do I
also-
do then?
you just,
It's very distracting when you're driving. They have all my balls sloshing all over the
when you
floor.
get to this end,
Is there,
it's too big.
a mute
Yeah, that's
option?
what I did.
I took it all over.
Hold on. Where's your needle?
Oh, and stuff it in the pants. It's right there.
There's almost more tomato in this salad than lettuce.
I'm sorry.
tomato
All right.
salad. I used to have those all the time in Chile. Nothing but tomatoes.
Just making an observation. You don't need to be sorry.
I can't see. I picked
Okay, I think I'm in here.
I picked here.
All right, you're there.
Can you pull it out? I can't see to grab it.
Okay, so we have everybody, I think. Right? Well, wait, no, there's one more.
Only Google Hangout.
Yeah, Alex is trying to join. I'm going to share my screen again to show Alex how to do it.
I think someone was talking to her.
There she goes. She's joined.
Yay!
All right. Now that should be it. 2, 4, 6. Yep. So it looks like we only had one person that doesn't seem to exist, Sterling or whatever his last name.
Oh, Alex is here. Great. I'm back. Sorry about that. I'm back.
I'm only seeing a black screen for you, Logan.
I just enabled my cam.
Oh, there we go. Never mind. I think the first time you got kicked out. I'm showing two options for you right now. So it's all right. We can now I see two black ones for Logan.
What? Yeah, he works night guard duty. An aquarium.
There you go, Logan. I see you.
Every time I try to screen share, I was able to successfully screen share once, but it seems like every other time I try to do it, it just crashes. So I'm not sure what's going on. Let's see. Can you guys see me? Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see if I can do this one more time. Share. Okay, can you guys see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
I can see your screen.
Yeah, if you click down on the bottom where Logan's screen, it should expand it.
Oh, I see, and it's just sharing that application window, it looks like. Okay, so that's not bad. But I did want to show the repository, so let me see if I can try this again. Okay. So here was the written up project proposal that I turned in for Battleship, where I kind of thought out some of the menus and stuff, and lists and the user story and all that we were required to set up. I can put this in a Google Doc so that we all have access to it. Would that be something you guys want me to do right now? Okay. In the meantime, let me get that out of the way. GitHub. Okay, so thank you for those of you who already tried testing some commits. There was an issue I had with the git ignore file. I had to fix that, but everything else, it looks like people just, if we go into the source code here, posted comments. So I see Alex got in here, Christian and Rachel all got in here and we were able to test. Is anyone confused on how they did that? Okay, so if there's not a lot of noise going on in the background, you guys can turn on your microphones. I think it'll be more organic if we actually have a conversation with each other instead of me trying to go back and read the chat logs. But it's up to you guys, I guess. So let's see. Well, before we get to that, why don't I bring NetBeans over and show you that my version of it doesn't have their comments. This is the one that I just opened up from my computer, stored locally on my machine. And so if I were to want to make some edits to this tonight, I would want to include any of those changes that my teammates have made. Okay, thanks Daniel. Sue, what was your question about the username and password?
When I was setting mine up, it asked for the username and password, and I put my username in and my password, and it gave me an error message. It would not, it wouldn't show it.
Oh, I think I know why, Sue. I don't know that I've added you to collaborators yet. Yeah, I didn't have your GitHub name.
Oh, I sent it to you. It was just Francis Sue.
Francis-Sue, like Molina-Christian here?
No, just plain Francis Sue.
All one word? Okay.
Yeah.
Now I need to remember how to add users again. How did I do this? And settings, collaborators, here we go.
I didn't know what to say. I had no idea what that was.
Who is it bouncer?
Mine is, it's capital F Francis, capital S Sue. So camel case.
That's okay. It looks like it found it here. So I'm going to add you. So there you are. So if you were to try it again now, Sue, and I think we should do that. I think it would be a good example. So you've already cloned it. You've already pulled it down. And you were able to make a change. You just weren't able to push it back up. You weren't able to do a commit, right? Is that correct, Sue? I think you're muted again, Sue.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so why don't we switch to your screen? Do you see how to screen share? Let's see. I'm going to drag this over here. That doesn't work. Okay. The screen share, if you hover over the presentation, there's a green monitor with an arrow on it.
Yes.
And that's the screen share. So if we were to switch over to you and you shared your screen, then we can all watch as you push up your changes to the repository.
Okay, I'll do that.
And I'm going to stop my screen share just in case that's a problem.
Okay, share my screen, entire screen. Share. Okay. Is it coming up?
Yes, it is now.
Okay.
So you want to click, look, yeah, there you go.
There.
So I went into team, went to Git, to clone. I put that in, and then this is my name and my password. And then I clicked next and next and finish. Is that right?
You want to say specify destination already.
On my shirt, it even says bouncer.
Yeah, I couldn't see what it said. Otherwise, I would have gotten it.
Oh, did we lose Sue? Looks like we lost her. Oh no, there's.
Loves his new bouncer.
Okay.
Specify destination already exists and is not an empty directory.
It's the parent directory part.
Okay.
Needs to be an empty folder.
I love that he superimposed the picture of his bouncer.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So if you go back a step, one more. So specify destination folder right here.
Yes.
Oh, it's supposed to be a pending Battleship 26005. Click on the browse button there. I want to see if that already exists.
Which one? This one?
This browse button right. Well, I can't point to it.
Right here?
Yeah, you're on it. Yep, that's the one. Okay, so it says it already exists. So let's cancel this. You may have already downloaded it just without your credentials. So go ahead and cancel. Okay, so I see it over in your projects on the left, in your projects pane there.
Right.
Go ahead and expand that out. Let me see that. And expand to source packages.
Okay, there's an error on it. I had a problem with mine. I had the fix. If you go back, if we go on the red part of it, there's actually an option to resolve it.
Okay, so
So I don't know if it's a right click. I just did it right before because apparently
Resolve project problem.
Yeah, resolve the project problem.
okay.
Click
So if
on
I-
it, and what's the error?
Invalid
so
Java platform.
So go ahead and hit resolve on the top, and then click on the button down at the bottom, download project source, and then hit OK. So apparently you did what I did. I followed we all kind of took the instructions two different ways when we had to download the Java, the NetBeans. I did the EE, and I did the newest version.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them ended up having the 1.7. So we're on 1.8. So by doing this, go ahead and close. It'll resolve it, and it'll allow you. It should allow her to get up now to it.
Okay.
I had the same problem right before we started because I was like, "What is going on?" So.
Okay.
So wait, so we're using a higher version? Because I know I've got 1.8.
I think it's in the
It
Until I read it.
acts like it's a lower version.
But I think it says.
I don't know because I have 1.8 as well,
Let's see that.
and it had us download 1.7.
That's
Oh,
what
did
I
they?
downloaded was the 1.7, and it never updated.
That's right,
Okay.
because I went into the 1.8. I was thinking reverse, like you're saying. I thought I had the older version, so I went into the download the software for the 1.8, and the 1.8 said I already had it installed, and it just wanted to know whether I wanted to install Tomcat as an add-in. So I'm
Oh,
not
I
sure
see.
what happened there.
Me neither.
But as long
I
as
hope
it
we don't-
works,
Yeah, I hope we don't lose functionality between the two, or that this error is going to come up every time I make an update or you make an update, and then somebody else on the team tries to.
I don't think so because basically we added the library that part to our library if I understood the instructions right. So I think we're good to go. We should be actually using the same as what you've got it set up to be up there.
Okay.
I don't know if that's going to cause any problems or not. But that's where we're at.
Okay. Hey, so Sue, could you right-click on Battleship 260.05?
Right now.
This one here?
The project. I'm sorry, the project,
It's a picture
Okay.
of me in the hospital with Tony.
and go down to Get,
It's a nice picture, but.
and go to Remote,
It's like, oh, gee, there's a hospital.
and do a pull.
It just feels weird to me.
Just this pull?
Yep, do a pull. So what Sue's doing here, everybody, this is an important thing to pay attention to. Before you start editing at any given time, you're going to want to make sure you have the most, as a general rule, you're probably going to want to make sure you have the most current version of the project on your machine. So doing a pull like this, and yeah, you don't want to be pulling it from your GitHub. You want to be pulling it from the clone repository URL. That's okay.
So this would need to change.
Yeah, what you want to do is select this radio button down below it, the specify Git repository location. Okay, and then what you're going to want to do is go to my Git repository.
Which is this one, right?
I believe that's the URL. It looks like it, yeah. But the remote name was different. The remote name is it Battleship 260? Let me see. I can't remember.
Actually, I think I got a copy of it on a notepad right here. You want the one that you sent out?
Well, yeah, not just the URL, but the remote name, I believe, has to be Battleship. What's going on?
Battleship 260_05.get. Looks like the only part that was different was the .get.
Okay, so go ahead and add the .get there. And then up here in the remote name, just copy this whole, you know what, let me just check on mine. That'll be the easiest way for me to see. Get remote pull. Yeah. So it's Battleship 260 underscore 05.get up in the remote name. So basically just copy from the B to the end. Not all of it, just the Battleship part. There you go.
That's not breaking.
And where do I need to put that? Up at the top?
No, just in the remote name, right above, where it says origin.
Right there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so I just take this out.
No. You're going to replace origin with Battleship 260 underscore 05 get.
Sorry, I'm up here.
No. In the box where it says remote name, does it allow you to put text there instead of the word origin?
No, I don't think so. Hold on, let me see. Oh, yeah, it did.
Okay, excellent. And you've got your username and password in there, so you should be good to click next.
Is that it?
That should be it. Go ahead and check master. Hover over the A for me, would you? The little green A.
Green A. Where's the green A?
After the word master.
Oh, I see.
Will be added. Okay. Let's go back then a step and let's take that Battleship 265. Let's take that out of there. Replace it with origin again.
This here?
Yeah. Just select origin. Okay. Now click next to see what it says. Okay. There we go. Origin master update.
Right.
Perfect. Go ahead and finish. And it's finished. So now if you go open the Battleship 260 Java, although it looks like you already have it open on your main screen, scroll down and see if we have those comments from the other students. Look at that. There we go. So now she has the most updated version of the project, and she can add her own comment, and then she can push it back up to the repository.
So I just put in my own comment here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sorry, I'm sitting at an awkward angle.
So
before we start any editing, we have to pull. That's like the first thing we should do every single time.
For the most part, the only reason I would think you wouldn't is if you're like working on your own module that's not necessarily affecting maybe the main project. Maybe you're working on your own class, which we all will be doing this week. We'll all be creating our own class. That's the other assignment, the individual assignment. So
okay. I have a, okay. So now what do I do? I just save it, or
you can click the save button or Control S.
Okay.
And then you'll click on the project again. Right click on the Battleship project.
Right click.
Mm-hmm. And you'll go Get Remote. And you're going to push this time.
Actually, doesn't she have to commit first?
Oh, you're right. She has to commit first. Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead and right-click on the Java file. Or is it on the project?
It's on the it's on there. It's under the so go to Get.
Yeah, Get then commit.
Then it's under Get.
Oh, there it is. Right.
So Git commit.
Yep. And then go ahead and hit commit. Okay.
And now.
Right. And the little blue icons went away, meaning she hasn't made any changes. And then you're going to want to actually push the entire project.
Okay. So remote. Push.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I do?
Yeah, so it's it keeps wanting to push it to your GitHub.
Hit the drop down on this. I think the problem was we started out without the .get. Go ahead and select that .get.
This one?
The one below
In the
that.
drop down.
In the drop down, where you were just at. Select that. All right, now try to hit next. I'm not sure if it pushed it up though yet. Is it trying to download a new version?
Hold on, what is it saying? Specify get repository location.
It's just telling her to
I
log
think
in
it's-
now.
Yeah, so go ahead and click OK. It's not liking it for some reason. I wonder why.
Looks like it's still thinking down here.
Because it's waiting for this response. Go ahead and click cancel. It says you're not authorized. Okay, but you should be. Because you're in there now, and I double checked that.
Did you get it?
8
I don't know,
commits.
maybe we need to try to do it with the old address.
I need to be done. I was waiting for you to be done.
You know, what we could do is start from scratch, have her delete the project on her end, and start the project over again. Like go to wherever she has them stored and just delete the entire project, and then do the team clone again.
Okay, so would it be, the project would be stored in my,
I think if you hover over Battleship, the project, the one with the little coffee cup next to it, I think it tells you where it is. If you just hover over it.
it's not doing anything when I hover
Okay.
over it. I think I've been saving everything. I'm on my husband's laptop because I'm out of town.
Sure.
And so I'm, oh, come on. Why is it freezing?
The desktop's not responding.
Yeah.
10 hour last.
Okay, the whole computer's freaking out. Just a sec.
Maybe stop sharing your screen. That might help free up some space, and you can.
Okay, and then I'll come back into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay,
So,
He told me we need to keep at least.
what you need me to do is go in. Okay, yeah, it's working fine now. NetBeans projects, Battleship.
I'm thinking.
So I should delete the Battleship one.
Yeah.
Okay. I have deleted it. Okay. So now I should share my screen again and we go through it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So I go back to team, git, clone. The information's in there.
Yep, that's correct.
So go next.
Master, that's good. Clone name, and then remote name. I guess it just puts origin in there. When the tutorial I watched said to replace the word origin with the project name, but you don't have to do that. But that's what I did. I don't know. I don't know that it matters, but we'll just try it with origin. Did anyone else leave it as origin?
I did.
Okay, then let's just finish. And you can go ahead and close the start page. We don't need that up. Clone completed.
Should I
Open.
just
I would
check it out?
I would leave that unchecked. You'll not have a problem finding it in the future. Okay, so
Here we go again.
one or more project resources could not be found. Right-click the project in the projects window and choose Resolve Project Problems to find the missing resources. Okay, so go ahead and click Resolve Problems.
Yep,
And
still
again,
the version is the same, right? So still you have to do the same thing.
right.
Yeah.
So
Go
click
ahead and hit
Resolve
the-
from the top right.
Yeah, so permanent. It's not a permanent fix for.
Try clicking on the Java platform drop-down. That's odd. There should be something there.
Oh, this project source binary format requires a newer Java platform 1.8. So because I created it in 1.8 and your version is not 1.8, it's asking you to downgrade it to 1.7. So I wonder if that's going to have issues trying to push it back up.
So how can I just get 1.8 in there and solve that problem?
You would have to uninstall your Java. Is it the JVM, the Java Virtual Machine, or is it? Somebody help me out here.
It was 1.7, and it was what was in the folder for the school. That was what they told us to put in there.
Okay, let me see if I can find where you'll want to.
Whenever you're there, you can just scroll down, and there will be an option to download the 1.8 instead.
Okay, I'm going to put it in the chat here, the link that I used to get the 1.8.
And actually, you don't need to uninstall it. It will do it. You know, it will uninstall it and install it. Because I actually played with both versions, and it does it by itself.
Okay, so let's go ahead and cancel this, Sue. And do you see the link in the group chat? Do you have the group chat window open? Okay.
I do.
So is it the Java not the NetBeans that's out of date then?
Yeah, because the Java is the 1.8. NetBeans is 8.0.1, I think, is what the NetBeans version is right now. 8.0.2 is the latest NetBeans version. So you're going to want to choose your Windows operating system,
Which is Windows 64.
Mm-hmm.
So this.
Right. Okay. So we'll take a break from. We'll let Sue get her stuff installed, and we'll come over and we'll do this week's assignment.
It's one of my questions. So this is the first
On
one.
my screen.
So I'll stop sharing.
Yes. Yeah. And I will start sharing.
Senior, Brigham Young, and Thomas That has 0 votes.
Okay. So let's see here.
Yeah, none of mine have been voted on. They've been sitting there for 3 months now.
Okay, so the paired programming assignment here. Maybe what we could do is have somebody reading through these instructions while I'm in NetBeans and kind of guiding me through it. First things first, I'm going to pull down the latest version. But who wants to kind of volunteer to be the navigator, if you will, of the assignment? Basically, just walk us through these instructions.
Give me a second. I'm signing into iLearn right now.
Okay. So in the meantime, I'll do next. Finish.
All right. I've got it up. I can start. So we've already done everything up to I think step 6. Let's see, or no, 7.
Well, have we identified a list of classes for our project? I mean, I kind of have in my, well, sort of. I've been taking notes and stuff already, but
I did a little bit of thinking, just based off the original game.
okay. So then let's do that. Let me pull up here. This. Wait, no. Where is it? There we go. This. And I'll just add to this document. What is this assignment called? Paired programming assignment?
Yeah.
We'll just call it group. And so let's just kind of talk about the overall game structure, kind of see if this will give us ideas for what kind of classes we'll need. Well, one thing right off the bat, I figured you're going to need a game class, the overarching game class. Does anyone else have any classes or thoughts that kind of came out to them right away that said we're absolutely going to need a class for this?
Class for whether you hit or miss.
I think that will be probably a function inside of like a board class.
Yeah, I was going to say a board class.
I have a quick question just as we're starting. Are we going to make this that it has to be a two-player game, or do we have to have a one-player with the computer be the other option?
I originally proposed it for 1 to 2 players, and I had some thoughts on how that might work as far as interfaces are concerned, but that's something we can talk about down the road. But it is a 2-player game. It's just whether the opponent will be a human player or a computer player. But we will have to program it to at least work with a human player.
Well, I think the requirement is that we have to have 1 or 2 players, right? It has to be up to 2 players. I mean, it has to be 1 and 2 players options there for it, according to what they set up in the beginning, I thought.
Yeah, I'm not sure specifically, because I remember there was a game that they showcased from last semester that was just a 1-player kind of RPG adventure game, and there was no 2-player option. So I think it depends on what our project proposal is. If we just want it to be player versus player, or if we want to try and do player versus CPU, or both. I think player versus player is going to be easier to start because we'll be able to use the same methods. We'll just
since with the CPU, we'd have to come up with an AI.
Exactly. And that's a pipe dream of mine. I'd like to. But I think that would be something on the back burner. But I think even a simple AI where it just picks a random space on the board with no logic whatsoever would at least be some form of a game with a computer.
I would say another class to add would be the ship class.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
One
Ship
for each
class.
ship.
Sure. And then what was I thinking? A player class. You're going to need player class.
Will we need a menu class as well?
Yes. Yes, we will.
So on the example that they gave us for when we wrote up our last proposal, they had the help menu. Is that its own class in order to put a help menu on?
Yeah, the example I was reading in Chapter 4, is that what you're talking about, Wendell?
Well, I'm talking more. I'm talking about the project that when we wrote up our proposals.
Mm-hmm.
They set the minimum things for the proposal, and one of them was that it had to have a help menu. And I'm just wondering if we did include a help menu, would that be its own class? How would that work?
You know, I'm not exactly sure. The menus part I'm still trying to understand, but there was an example in Chapter 4 of taking a program that was built in Chapter 3 and pulling the help menu out into its own class. So I think we're going to have a class for each menu, honestly, because the menus are going to be different, and they may share. There might be some polymorphic methods that are shared amongst them, but do different things. Like there might be a method to generate the options of the menu, but as you can see, each menu is going to have its own options. I don't remember there being a requirement for a help menu. I just remember there being a requirement for, you know, outlining what different menus you would have. I guess the closest to a helping menu that I would have is like that I had proposed was a rules menu, but then I thought about it, and we might also want like a controls, like a help with the controls type menu if our controls are more than text-based input.
Probably a scoreboard will be another important class there.
Scoreboard, okay. Has anyone here had experience with programming outside of the CIT 160 class?
A little bit.
Okay. Is anyone familiar with what's called the model view controller method? MVC method?
No.
Okay. I've had a little bit of exposure and to it, and not a lot of experience actually using it, but it's basically a concept that what model translates to is basically your classes, but it's your classes that are like doing the work. And then there's this controller class that basically interfaces between all your models that are doing all the work and your view classes that are showing the user everything. So I don't know that I want to try and force us to do that if that's not something that's part of what this class teaches. I know is anyone taking 336?
Yeah.
Okay, in 336 I noticed it's something that's going to come up later in the curriculum, so it's kind of, I wish they were teaching it in this class too. I'm not sure if it will be, but separating out your view classes from your model classes and connecting the two of them with a controller is like the industry standard these days, but I'm not sure if that's something we want to attempt or not. Does anyone feel comfortable or uncomfortable with giving that type of approach a shot?
Give me something to give some. There's something to read to give me a little background on it. I'm sure I'd be willing to learn how to do it.
There's a great YouTube video that is actually Java based, and the guy's channel, he has over like 90 videos on Java alone. But there's one where he explains how to set up a model view controller type program, and it just clicked with me. It made so much sense when I've had trouble understanding the MVC model before. It just like flat out, it just clicked. And so I'll send that link out to everybody, and if you see it and you kind of get what it's going for, maybe we can try to apply it to our game. But
make it easier.
it's supposed to absolutely make everything easier. That the concepts of encapsulation, it's definitely follows the model of encapsulation. It keeps all your data and the work being done with the data in one location, and then all your views in another location, and then they interface with each other. The data doesn't know the views exist. The views don't know the data exists. The only reason that they're able to talk to each other is because of this controller. And it's and they're all set up with classes. There's view classes, the controller class, and the model classes. But I'm probably not doing it justice and maybe just confusing everybody. But the YouTube video would definitely, I think, make it more clear. So as we would define these views or these classes here that we're brainstorming, we would think, is this a view class? Are we showing the user something? Or is this a class that's doing work? Or is this something where the view needs to talk to the class, and then we could divide it up and say, say which ones are going to go where. Also, one of the examples from last semester, somebody had, I think it was in the tic-tac-toe example, they had like a views folder, and then they had, I don't think they called it a models folder, but they had a views folder where they kept all of their interfaces. So, all right, what's next? We've got a few brainstorm classes here. We can always add to this list. I'm going to put this out on Google Docs, and we can all edit it collectively as a group. So what's the next requirement there, Wendell?
Okay, give me just a sec, bring back up. All right. Partner 1. All right, modify the main function in your main class to create an instance of the main. I think you've already done this, so this is all partner 1, right?
I haven't created. No, I haven't created an instance of the main class yet. All we have is the public class Battleship, and then the public static void main. So here's our main class right here, but it's got nothing inside of it except for comments. So.
Well, I guess then we need to go back to step 8. Is it also there? So basically, it looks like we've made it up to step 7, which is to clone the GitHub repo for partner 2, which all of us have done.
Yeah.
Right.
So then
okay.
the next step is 8, which is add 2 instance variables to your main class.
Okay, so 2 instance variables. Okay, so let me go back to. All right, so what do we want to say? Maybe string. Wait, does it have to be? I think it has to be capitalized. String. Player 1. Maybe player. I don't know.
Are we gonna have them enter a name on this? I didn't know if you had that on your proposal or not.
We were gonna have a player database, but I think for now let's just start small and let's just give.
Okay.
Does that validate? That validates. Okay, so there we go. We got an instance variable of a player named Joe. Does it have a problem with this? Variable player is not used. That's fine. So we haven't used it yet for anything, but we have it. And we will call him player 1. So string player 1. So string player 2. Anyone have a suggestion for a name?
How about a
Rocky.
female?
What's that?
How about a male
Rocky?
and a female?
Female? What about Lucy? Joe and Lucy. All right. Okay, so Joe and Lucy. So we have 2 instance variables. Yay. What's next?
Okay. Now we're on the one I read before. Modify the main function in your main class to create an instance of main class.
We have to add 2 functions first.
Oh, did I skip one? I did.
Yeah. Number 9.
Sorry. Add 2 functions to display the instance variables, instance variable values.
Okay.
So that's just like the print line, right?
Yeah. So let me go back here. So void. Wait, we want it to print, right? We don't want it to. Does it say to return or to print? To display.
Yeah.
It says display.
So void show player 1.
That's the function, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I've been in and out.
Equal start of an expression. Do I need a Do I need a public here?
Okay.
I'm going to grab my book because I'm not. This syntax is all new to me. I can JavaScript it up all day long, but.
Do we need to do the system out print line and then just?
That'll be inside the function, but it's not even liking how I'm declaring the function.
Shouldn't it just be class? No, that's class, not function. Never mind.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Public static void string.
This should be able to work. Just void. Show player 1. Okay, so system out print line. Or do I have to create a class outside of it? Hold on. Class add math. So here we have class, public class Battleship, public static void.
Public class.
That's what it shows.
Okay, so wait, what did the instructions say again?
Is it the same to say player 1 in numbers and then on letters?
Yeah, no, they're not referring to each other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So add two functions to display the instance variable values. But do I have to do it in a class outside?
Well, the vehicle example in like 111 shows it.
That's where I am too. Yeah.
It's under the class.
But it's outside of the public class. It's outside of the class add math, which is where the main one resides. So I'm gonna just come down here and do just go with class.
Yeah.
Players. And then go. I think this is where we're going to want the strings too.
Right.
So let's go. Let's paste that. These out. Yeah. See, now it doesn't have a problem with it. All right, so print line layer 1 void show layer 2 and we'll just be efficient here. Layer 2, and now so why didn't it like that up there? That's what I'm really wondering. Yeah, it just does not like it there. Huh. Anyone have any ideas on that? Why it doesn't like it in the main class?
That is really weird.
Maybe that's something we can ask
Mm.
in the forum.
Sure. Let me come back to the instructions because I'm really feeling like I'm missing something here. So, add 2 instance variables to your main class. Add 2 functions to display the instance variable values. Modify the main function in your main class to create an instance of the main class. That one I'm really having.
Of the main class.
Before we got online tonight, I felt like I understood all this stuff. I was like, yeah, this won't be a problem. I've done the reading.
So we have to create an instance that says Battleship. So string.
So if we did
string
players,
yeah.
Players, let's say new players is the variable name, equals new players. Like that. Why not? Players is the class name. This would be the variable name. Oh wait. New. Is that what it was?
Yeah, because that's going to pull the player function.
But the player class. So that will pull from the player's class. So now, if we did like players, or sorry, new players show player 1.
Okay, it doesn't.
Something like that.
Do you need the capital N as well?
No.
No, because the variable that I named right up here.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see.
So classes typically will have, will start with a capital letter, and then any subsequent words in the name will also have capital letters.
Right.
Variables, however, should start with a lowercase letter, and any subsequent words should be capitalized.
That's right. I read that today. Sorry.
No worries. So, if I'm correct here, this should output to the console the names for players 1 and player 2, which is Joe and Lucy. So, if we play it, build successful Joe and Lucy.
Yeah, there we go.
Excellent.
Yay.
Cool. All right, so we've got our 2 players. Very cool.
Amazing that something so small can make us so happy.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
It's a small space for a man.
Yeah, exactly. I've jumped around in my cubicle at work before because I had a breakthrough on code. It can be a very exciting thing. All right, so what comes after that? Create an instance of the main class. See, it's telling us we should be doing all of this in the main class, and I think that's what's confusing me the most.
Because NetBeans won't let you, or doesn't like it.
Add 2 instance variables to your main class. Add 2 functions to display the instance variable values.
Well, you could possibly go up to meet that requirement,
Right.
like they did on one of the other pages. They put they just declared the variables without.
We had no problem. We had no problem declaring the variables here. The variables were fine. It was when I tried to do the functions that it didn't like it. So if I have the variables up here, but see then that doesn't make sense because now they're the instance variables of the main class and not of the object for the players or the players class. I don't know. I think it's definitely worth researching and asking the instructor. I think we got it working this way, so we should do it this way and see what feedback the teacher gives us personally.
I would agree. I agree.
Good. Thank you, Sue. Everyone else doesn't, but you do. Thank you, Sue. Let's see. All right. So what's the next step? Since we're going over an hour here, use that object instance to call the two display functions. I'm going to just move this over here. All right. Well, we do call the two display functions, but we call it from a new players class instead of a new main class. Well, all right. Run your program to make sure it works. Add one of the other classes add one of the other classes you identified in the first step by create new Java file and adding the instance variables needed for that class and display functions to display the value of those variables. So they want us to create a different Java file for a class here. I feel like there should have been more. Maybe I'm just getting hung up on the word main, because it does differentiate between main function. I don't know. Does anyone else have any ideas on this? I feel like I'm kind of shooting in the dark.
I think what we have is fine, because in the first step it asks us to identify a list of classes, and so we have identified one of our classes and we've made it all work. So I don't think that it would be a problem that we're not doing it in the actual main function.
I agree, because I remember reading in the chapter that before we were using like main, but then they decided to actually call the main function something else. And so the point was to go off on your own, make it your own.
Right. Okay. Well,
if it's working, it's fine.
Yep.
Okay. So then the next modify the main. Okay. So we create a new instance of the class defined in the previous. Hold on. Okay. So we're going to go to create a new Java file. And Java class, new class. So what should we call this one? Should we call this one board?
Yeah.
B-O-A-R-D.
I initially thought the other one.
Freudian slip, maybe? I don't know. All right.
I'm not bored. I'm just worried.
Okay, so here we go. We've got another class, the board class. So, what does it want us to do with the board class? And adding the instant variables needed for that class and display the functions. Okay, so board class instance variables. We'll go with int. Board size, we'll say equals 10, because it'll always be a square grid, so it'll either be 10 by 10 or whatever we decide to make it, if we want to make it different sizes later. Let's see.
You need two different size, right?
Yeah, but if it's square, we'd only need one
Oh,
value for
square.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be a square board.
Cool.
If we're playing by the standards that the game has. Did anyone else buy Battleship? I just bought it the other day so I could have it as a reference point and have the rules and all that, so we can reference the rules.
You can play it online as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Maybe we can glean some ideas from how it works there. So board size. So when I was thinking about it, each player is going to have two different boards. They're going to have their setup board, and then they're going to have their attack board. So when you think about the game, you fold open your piece, and you've got your board where you're keeping track of all your attacks, and then you've got your board where you can see your own ships.
Right.
And
I would agree.
so let's say, how would we do that?
We just set it up side by side, maybe one color and one a different color.
Yeah, visually, yeah, we'll get to the views eventually. I have no idea
Have
how
it
to create
coded.
views, but just the properties, the attributes, if you will.
Well, maybe we should make the board size. Maybe we should have one big board size, and then could we do two separate smaller board sizes? Would that work?
Yes.
Like divide. So instead of a 10 by 10 being a 10 by 20, is that what you're saying?
Right, and then have each board be a 10 by 10.
I think well, because part of the reason is we're not going to want to show the defense board or the setup board during the game. It's going to be kind of one of those things where you imagine two people sitting down at the computer together to start this game, and there'll come a point where they say, okay, select two human players, and then it'll say, okay, player one, set up your ships. The player two is physically going to have to turn his head away from the monitor to not see where this guy puts his ships. And so then when Joe's done, it'll be Lucy's turn to set up her board, and Joe will have to look away, and she'll set up her board, and then the game will start, and those two boards will be hidden. So I think if we're thinking about using this class over and over again to create these objects, we're going to want to be able to tell the board class which type of board we want. Do we want a setup board, or do we want an attack board?
Yeah.
So should each board be a different class then?
No. You want to be able to use the same class to create the different objects, but you'll have an attribute in there, which, like, let's just call it a string for now, and say board type equals setup.
Okay.
So for now, we're just going to worry about the setup boards. We won't even worry about the attack boards. We'll figure out how to change that variable when we need to change it to an attack board type.
Okay.
I think all of us are getting a little hung up on probably the visual part of it, like you were saying earlier, Logan, that we're not even to that point yet.
No, in fact, one of the other things I noticed about some of the demos that we saw from last semester was some of them were just a text-based game. And ours could very easily be a text-based game where you type in A4 and it returns the text, hit or miss, or sunk, or whatever. Adding the views will come later, and that's what the whole model view controller method is about. Is you should be able to create all your models and have, even a text-based interface with those models and return all the values you want. Before you ever add any visuals, graphics, or whatever, those should live completely independently. So we just want to think of what does the computer have to do, what work, what processing, what computing does the computer have to do to output the right answers. So
I'm glad that you guys are thinking of these sorts of things because it's mind-boggling. I hadn't even thought about that until you started talking about it, and
That's okay. We'll get there. Trust me, I'm still feeling a little. I'm feeling a little lost myself right now too. So, so let's just say.
Good thing there's a lot of us.
Yes.
So, board size.
So we're sometime in the future on this, we're going to have to incorporate the grid on this in order to locate each square on the board.
Each spot. Yeah.
So
Right.
the
Yeah, absolutely.
A1 versus B2, all those things.
I think that comes with the visual, right?
I don't think it'll be a visual because even if you were to even if you were playing a word game, you'd still have to input a value of D. Like if you wanted to make an attempt to hit on somebody, you would say C2, and then the computer would reference that square C2, whether it's visual or not, and be able to determine whether there was something occupying that space.
Oh, I get
Right.
So we're going to have I would almost say there's probably even going to be a little bit of everything, even some Boolean on there because it's going to be a true or false.
Right.
As well.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, no. Of course. Word. Right. Yeah. The other thing to consider here is that just because we have this class and we define all this stuff, unless we give it methods and give it ways that it can give that stuff to another class, it will be just kind of floating out there alone. So that's why, like, if we want to be able to see the board size, we can't just say, "Show me the board size." We need a method that will do that for us. So let's go ahead and save that. Let's go back to our main.
No, I think I figured out step 10.
You did? Who's that?
Hey, Christian. I think I figured it out. I was playing around with it. It's the same thing as you do with the players. I'll type the code in here in the chat.
Okay. Well, can you? If we go over to you, can you share your screen with us?
Yeah. Give me a sec.
Christian, you have some experience coding, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever used Java before?
Nope.
Okay.
Okay, can you all see my NetBeans here?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I've got the line highlighted here.
Right. Okay. So that's okay. So that's instantiating a new version of the class, or not a new version, but a new instance of the class, of the main class.
And that's what it's asking us to do.
Okay. I was thinking when it said main, it was this, but it's talking about this one up here.
Can't see what you're pointing to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So it's talking about the Battleship. Yeah, I wish that's frustrating. So it's talking about the public class Battleship 26005 as the one that they want.
Yeah. Throwing that inside the main here, just like you do with the players class.
I see. Can the same thing be done with the main class? If we were to do like main game new main, would that work as well?
I don't know. We can try it.
Sure. Doesn't like that. Cannot find symbol. Okay. I think you're right. I think you're right. You're right. It's not a class. It's the method. You're right. Okay. So yeah, I think so. If we were to come back and put these let's see. If we were to come back and put these up in our public class and then call them from the main. Is that what you guys want to try? Do you want to see if that works?
Yes.
How's everybody feeling on time?
Good.
I have nothing but time.
For me, this is nothing. I'm usually up till midnight or 1 a.m. So this is
Same with me.
I have a problem because my kids have to take me back to where I'm sleeping right now.
Okay.
So I don't want to keep them up all night, but
Oh, wait, I put this in the wrong spot. Sorry about that. Okay, so how much longer can you hang to?
half an hour.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Do you want me to go ahead on my NetBeans and try and set this up again now that I've updated it, or do you want me to wait to share it?
No, okay, so you've updated your Java and that's all set up now?
Yes.
And have you gone out and done the team and team clone and all that stuff again?
No, I'll do that right now. And
Okay.
I just was waiting to see if you wanted me to share my screen to do it all.
At this point, if you can get yourself working, unless you have any questions, we can share your screen and help you through it. But
Okay.
if you can try and follow the steps we were trying to do before, and hopefully you don't get that error again.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Cannot find symbol. Oh, because we want, instead of player new players, we want battle. Now I'm second guessing my naming convention here.
Yeah, I tested it out myself using the one I already had, and it worked out pretty well.
That problem comes up again.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Dang it. And you installed the 1.8, huh?
I did.
Did anyone else have that same problem? Has anyone else? Christian, you've obviously pulled it down. Did you have any trouble when you were cloning the Git repository?
No. Then again, I download the newest version.
Did anyone else, Alexis or Rachel, did you guys have any trouble?
No, not at all.
You know what? Let me go out of my NetBeans and restart it and just see if it, just with the changes, if it needs to be restarted. I don't know.
Okay.
Guess I'm pulling at straws right now, but
yeah, I mean, I thought that would have done it for you. Maybe
I'm looking
maybe
up
something
the JDK 8 support in NetBeans. You have to do something specific once you download it.
I have to do what?
Did you not run it? Did you run it after you downloaded it?
No, I guess I didn't.
Found all that help for it.
Okay, so then we want to try this with new game. Okay, so let's see here. New game. So technically, if we save this and let's try running it again, it should do the same thing. Okay. It liked that too. So yeah, thank you, Christian, for looking into that.
Oh, I see.
No,
It just passed my mind that since it was a class, the players was a class, it would probably work the same way.
That's an excellent point. So, okay. I got to remember that the main is a method, not a class. I was thinking this was a class this whole time, and it was just not getting through my skull. So, now, not that I think we should want our static player information in this main public class, but for the purposes of this assignment, we got it to do what they wanted us to do. So, what is the next thing they want us to do with this external class that we created? add one of the other classes you identified in the first step by creating a new Java file, adding instant variables needed for the class, and display functions to display the values of those variables. Do we have all that? We do. Create a new instance of the class defined in the previous step. So
we're going to make an instance of the board.
Right. So we'll go, well, let's just do it down here. So board, we'll call this setup board equals new board. It's very kind of repetitive to me. Anyone else? Board, setup board equals new board.
Mm-hmm.
I get why, but it's just when you're used to JavaScript and things are a little bit less loosely bound, it's, I don't know, it's a little bit of a jump. But so now if we go setup board dot board size, oops. Wait, no, that's not it. No, show board size, right? Wasn't that it?
You can always go back over to the board project and look at it.
I could. There it is. Show board size. And set up board type. Show board type. So if we save, run, Joe, Lucy, board size is 10. Setup is 10. So, yeah. Now, eventually, we might want to set this up so that it's returning the value instead of doing a print line in the method. Did anybody get towards the end of chapter 4 where they explain how the methods should just, most of the time, we're going to be wanting to return values and not actually doing the print lines within the method of the class itself. But I won't bother doing that today because that's outside of the scope of the assignment. So create a new instance of the class defined in the previous step. We just did that. Everything works. Push all of your changes up to GitHub project repo. So if you guys remember, we come here, we go down to Git, remote, and we're going to push. We're going to go next. To the master, next, finish.
We don't have to save or commit anything first?
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, there's the commit. Right. Yes, I appreciate that. Okay, so this is group assignment. Type, group assignment 1, commit. I like exclamation points. All right, so now let's push it. Next, that's what it should look like. Next, and finish. And it's finished, so if we come up here to the GitHub repository, and we refresh, group assignment 1 commit. Yay!
Oh, awesome!
Why does
awesome!
It say all of that is deleted? Three changed files. Why did it change the git ignore file?
Oh, I just pulled what you just pushed, and it showed up.
Okay, cool. So there we go. So then I guess the individual programming assignment has us each creating our own separate class files.
Yeah, on the ones we just decided out.
Right, so just like we did for this board class. So once I publish this document, you guys can add classes that you think we're going to need. You can pick from the classes we have here. Obviously, we don't have enough classes to go one per group member, so we will need some more classes to be thought up.
What about rules? Rules to the game.
Yeah, I was going to have those. Yeah, so I thought that one was going to be a pretty basic class because it's just going to have static information. But
Yeah.
absolutely, we will need a rules class. So, so I'll add that in here. Have you guys all worked with Google Docs before?
No.
I guess it's called Google Drive now. Now that you guys all have Gmail accounts, you have access to something called Google Drive. It's in your, let's see here. So it'll be in here, and basically what it is, there can be documents that you share amongst people. These are previous classes stuff, but basically, yeah, you can just go in and edit, one of these documents right out of Google. I think you would open with Google Docs, and you can come in here, and we can all collaborate on the same document. So we can update our project proposal collectively as a group, make changes. So, yeah. So yeah, there we go. So I'll upload it there, and I'll share it with you guys all through Gmail. And we can each go and if you're having trouble with any part of it, get in touch with anyone in the group you can, and we'll try and help you. But basically, pull the repository down, add your class, add whatever variables you want to add, make sure it works, and then push it up when you're done. And we can review each other's commits and see what's going on.
Okay. Can I have you help me with this NetBeans thing? See if I can sort out this problem.
Certainly. I think. Okay, so I'll submit this. I think we all have to submit this. Is this just the clone URL? Click the open button below, and in the notes you'll enter your URL. Yeah, I think that's the clone URL. So I think we're all going to be submitting the same clone URL from the GitHub repository. But yeah, so I think we're done with this assignment. Anyone who wants to go can go. I think I'm going to stay on with Sue and see if I can get her working. Anyone who wants to stay and help troubleshoot is welcome to stay as well.
I have one question.
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead.
For the class, did you want us to, I know you said add. How would we know if we worked on the same class?
Well, it's like he said.
Turn it in.
It's like he said. We have to do it all in separate documents, and we'll be throwing away a lot of work. So.
Yeah, I mean, if two people do the same class, maybe what we can do is in the document, kind of put your name next to a class that you intend to build.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking.
That would be a great idea.
I just didn't want us to do the same one, and we're like, oh, I already did that. Okay.
That was a good thinking, Rachel.
In the paired programming assignment, there's a part A and a part B with videos and things that we haven't done yet.
Let's see.
You scroll all the way down.
On the paired, not individual.
Oh, sorry, wrong one. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was looking at the individual. I was thinking, oh, we're done. Hoping to get so we did that. Divide up the rest of the classes you identified and decide which partner will implement each one. So we're supposed to decide that right now. Okay. Does anybody want to shout out if you want one of these?
I already started working on the ships.
Who's that?
Oh, man, that's the fun
Christian.
one.
Christian? Okay. Good deal. So yeah, ships are going to have things like some Boolean variables, like depending on whether it's sunk or not, things like that. That should be a fun class to work on. The player class kind of got commented out right now. I don't know if you'll notice that I did that here in NetBeans. I commented this out. So does anybody want to take the players class and see if they can maybe make it a little more robust? Since we probably don't want the player data actually up here, this will probably uncomment it here and actually use it from here instead of from the main class.
I can try and do that.
Is that Sue?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody want to try for one or more menu classes?
I can do one. I mean, start that. I'm just still a little iffy on what all we are going to need on that.
Trust me, this is going to take shape as we go along. Right now, we're statically naming players Joe and Lucy. Eventually, we're going to be taking text input and storing it in a database. And you can, if you've already played before, you can go find your name and pull up your database so that you keep your wins-loss record, right? That's going to be way down the road. So we got to think super simple. Just what's some information that you're going to want out of that? For example, if you're building a menu class for the main menu, you're going to want to have information like, you know, option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4, and have them just equal the string name, you know, for now. We'll figure out more about what we're supposed to do with these types of this type of information, how to make them actual menu options. That'll all come down the line. So right now we're just identifying parts.
Okay, so when we divide the menus out, are we going to, will they all be under one class, or are they going to need to be individual classes?
So you remember the concept of inheritance? Did everybody remember reading about inheritance?
Yep.
Inheritance was in chapter 1. In fact, there's the 3 main kind of characteristics of an object-oriented language. One is polymorphism. One is forgetting it. Well, one of them is polymorphism. One of them is inheritance, and the third is one that I'm not remembering right now.
I remember that.
Encapsulation. So, going with the concept of inheritance, these menus, each one of these menus are going to share a lot of the same things. And maybe it's the views for the menus that are going to share like a kind of an inherited class, but there could be some things, some methods, and some variables that are shared by all of these classes. So, for example, one could be number of options. So you could have like a menu class, a generic menu class, and it has a number of options variable that defaults to, say, 1. But then when you define the main menu variable, you overwrite that 1 with a value of 4 because this one has 4 options. So it's going to inherit certain properties from the overall menu class. So if you want to create a generic menu class and think of just things that each menu, properties that each menu is going to share in common, or if you want to tackle a specific menu and create a class for that. But I think as we move forward, we kind of want to think in that larger scope. Do all of these things, can they all be grouped under a parent class that they inherit certain values from in certain methods?
Okay.
So
I'll try to work on the menu.
do you want to do a specific menu, or do you want to do like a generic menu class?
I'll try to work on a more of a generic menu class for now. Maybe we can revise that once I figure out a little more, get a little more in depth in it.
Okay. Daniel, you were the one that suggested the scoreboard. Do you want to do that class?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I'm gonna take the game class because I think that's going to replace the Battleship 260_05 class. I think the game class might be more of our kind of our controller class if we go with the model view controller method. So I'll take that one. We already did the board class, so that one's we'll just say done.
I'll take the rules then.
Who's that?
Alex.
Alex, okay. And then we need one for Rachel. So what other types of...
What do you think about the volume and the music? Is that part of it?
Sound effects, I hadn't seen them touched on in any of the other previous games. I think it's a worthy aspiration, but I have no idea how to work with sound in Java. I'm not even really in JavaScript either.
Okay.
But we can put it in there as something we want to do in the proposal, but I don't think it's something we're going to have an easy time defining right now. But let me see here. I had some notes here of some other classes that I think.
I shared there a link to a little Battleship game that we can look for to see if we can find more classes there.
Like an online game and see. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, just to have an idea of if we can find more classes.
Okay, well, one thing I was thinking about, and help me out here, guys, especially anyone who has programming knowledge, but is the turn going to be considered a class? Because we are going to have to keep track. It's going to bounce back and forth, and it's going to be inheriting values like, you click on your screen and it's registering an attack for player 1's turn. Once that's done, it's going to switch over to player 2, and it's going to call the same method for attack, but it's going to call it under player 2. So does that need like a parent class of whose turn it is? And how? I suppose that would just be a Boolean class. Yeah. But
yeah, the turn should be a class.
Okay, let's put that in here. And if it doesn't end up working that way, but
yeah, that would make sense because in each turn you have you shoot, right? And you either get a hit or a miss.
Correct.
So that seems complicated enough to be its own class.
Okay. So Rachel, do you want to see if you can kind of define what properties exist in a turn?
Sure.
Maybe some variables, and then some methods that return those variables.
Okay.
I was thinking of another class. I don't know, like if the ships are going to be a class, we also will need a class for the marks. Like if it's red or blue. I mean, if you hit or not.
Right, and that may be a subclass of board. There might be like a grid space class.
Not the grid space, but the actual, let's say, marks, if you hit it or not. Let's say.
Well, those would end up being properties of the grid class.
Okay.
So properties would be like hit, miss, and like nothing, or untouched.
Okay.
You know what? The other one I was thinking of, so it would be occupied would be a Boolean. So we could have two variable. So grid space could be a subclass of board if anybody wants to tackle that. So a grid space can have properties like hit or occupied that are Booleans, meaning that they're either true or false. So each grid space is either going to be hit or not, hit or miss, or occupied or not. In fact, I think I did it this way when I was taking my notes. So you'd have if a grid space has both attacked and occupied as true, it's gonna equal a hit. If it has attacked is true and occupied is false, it's gonna equal a miss. If it has attacked is false and occupied is false, it's just gonna be a blank space. So that's a way where you can use kind of two different variables to determine the outcome of what the grid space's overall property should be. And those could be designed with conditional like if statements. Does anybody like the idea of doing that class instead of one of the other classes they have assigned? Or I can leave it out there and just whoever wants to do it can grab it.
Sounds good. When we get done with what we're doing, if we have time.
Sure, absolutely. Do we want to decide on like 1 or 2 nights a week that will work for the whole group to come together? Because I know we'll have to meet at least once a week, but I think if we're really going to be collaborating on this, it's going to take more than that to kind of achieve what we want to do.
It might actually make it a little easier if we were to break it into 2, because then we wouldn't have to do it all at once. So instead of a big 2-hour long one, maybe we could do some smaller ones. Wednesdays are normally pretty rough for me because I'm in the young men's presidency, so I'm usually involved in all the mutual activities. But
Right, and I think somebody else in the group has Wednesdays aren't good for them too. Is that you, Sue?
Yeah, it's me.
Okay.
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays and Thursdays work really well for me, but actually any night of the week works well for me. So I'm not picky, but I would like to say earlier is better for me, or sooner in the week.
As far as Tuesdays, I'm kind of curious if we're going to keep up the workload we are with all the reading and everything else. Because Tuesdays seem so far to be the heaviest day for our due dates.
That's true for all the reading and stuff. Yeah, I agree. Maybe if we do have a meeting earlier in the week, it might just be to recap what we did the week before and make sure everybody's comfortable with the previous week's materials before we have to do the Thursday assignment.
And if we're ready and have time, then we can do more.
Exactly. Yeah, that would be great. So, and maybe it's one of those optional meetings. Come if you're having trouble. We'll work on it together, and then we meet later in the week to do the actual assignment.
I like that.
Me too.
Okay. Okay. So what day next week do we want to meet for? Tuesday?
Tuesday and Thursday, would be great, I think.
Yeah.
And does 8 o'clock Pacific work for everybody?
Yes.
I typically be at Institute on Tuesdays.
Tuesdays I have young women, so I won't be able to make it. But Thursdays are good.
Okay. Do we want to then maybe do Mondays? We're talking about the early week meeting being just kind of a touch base. I saw you dropped out there, Alex, so I'm not sure if you heard that part.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so the first meeting of the week is kind of let's touch base, let's review last week's material, make sure we understand what we were doing, maybe talk about any project goals, but make it a short meeting, an optional meeting even, and then when we meet later in the week, it's to do that week's actual assignment.
Well, there might be a problem with that.
Why is that?
It's going to have the Thursday assignments are due at 2 p.m.
What's that?
The Thursday assignments are due at 2 p.m., not midnight.
Really? The Thursday deadline's at 2 p.m.?
Yeah.
What the?
Mine? Oh, what? On Thursdays, you said?
Yeah.
Mine says Thursday at 11:59 p.m.
So does mine.
Mine says tomorrow, 1:59 p.m. for the paired programming assignment.
What's your times?
Let's see. Thursday, 11:59. Are you talking about in the calendar or in the?
Yeah, in the calendar.
Oh.
Yeah, 11:59 p.m.
Yeah, mine's 11:59 as well.
Can you show us your screen?
Sure.
Wait, was that Christian or Wendell?
It's me, Christian.
Okay. Sorry, I'm still getting used to everybody's voices.
Oh yeah, it's truth. How odd.
That
I
is
love my
so
classes.
strange.
I'll say 1:59.
What time zone are set to?
No,
It should be to your local time zone. It should be 11:59.
My question would be, what version of iLearn are you using? That interface.
The old version.
You're using what?
The old version.
The old version. Okay.
Let's see if I pull up the newer one.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe they didn't have location-based services on there. On the old one.
Nope, still 1:59.
That's so.
That is crazy.
You're not like in Russia, are you?
No, I'm in Arizona.
Arizona. That's so strange because we wouldn't want you getting like docked for late points if we're doing the assignment, according to everyone else's schedule. Can you
take a screenshot of that and send it to the teacher?
Or to tech support.
And tech support.
Because yeah, we don't want you to be, because you can see right there it says due Thursday at 11:59 on the actual assignment.
Huh. That is so weird.
Yeah, I got docked in my other class in my 336 because I submitted something at 10 o'clock at night, and she said it was due at midnight, and she was not Mountain Time but Central Time, and so she said it was after midnight, and I said no. Here's my screenshot. Here's my timestamp, and she reversed it for me. But you might have something going on with your location services. It might think you're in a different time zone or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
Well, Arizona doesn't have daylight savings time, so maybe it's different.
To throw it off by 10 hours, though?
That's crazy.
So go ahead and look into that, Christian, because honestly, yeah, we don't want you having an assignment submitted late because we're meeting later than that. But at the same time, it sounds like Thursday is going to be a much better day for us to meet than Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do about this. That is weird.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, I don't want to keep Sue up any later, so I'm going to stick around and see if I can get her NetBeans working. Thank you guys so much. Next time, I promise we'll start with a prayer, and maybe we should end with a prayer tonight. Is there anyone who wants to give one?
Guys, before we end, if we keep scrolling, there's things in our rubric that we haven't covered yet for the
you mentioned that
group programming assignment.
Thank you. You keep mentioning that, and I keep blowing you off, and I'm very sorry.
I'm just worried because I want us to get it done, to get a good grade and stuff.
Okay, are we going to meet tomorrow?
Dang, this is so long.
Well, I think what we're doing is the assignment that's due tomorrow now, so I think we could probably skip tomorrow's meeting and just start by meeting next Monday night.
Okay.
Okay,
just go down all the way to the rubric, and I think the only things that we really haven't done is the program includes two functions called get name and display help.
Which is the instances that it says to make, name and help, which it also mentions up in step 8.
Step 8.
Which we made the two names.
But we didn't call them get name.
Well, look at part B and part C. It has all these.
Part B, okay.
Part C, review the list of object types to define an A.
So were we just supposed to watch these tutorials and do what the tutorials did? Did we waste all this time trying to figure it out by ourselves? I don't think it was time wasted. Let me make that clear. But
well, we do still have until tomorrow to get this all cleared up with him.
That's true. Maybe we do meet tomorrow. Let's see. Okay.
I would say just because we're starting, it will be good to meet tomorrow.
Yeah, because going through all those parts is the exact same thing as the numbered steps above, just with different objects, different strings and variables.
One for the player's name, one for the game instructions. Have two functions called get name and display help. But see, if we're going to be graded on this rubric,
that's what I'm worried about.
Okay, so let's call it quits tonight, and let's just meet up again tomorrow night at 8 and try and get through this actual tutorial thing as quickly as we can.
There it is in the rubric. Program includes two functions called get name and display help.
Right, but I don't want to keep it. We've been on for 2 hours now. Let's just meet up again tomorrow night at 8 and try to cram through this tutorial, and then and we'll be able to submit it from there.
All right.
I won't be able to make it tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.
Who's that, Alex?
That's Alex, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what I can do. I can maybe put it on my phone and listen to you guys.
I think we've covered the basics. I think I don't think much of it's going to be new, and we can record it and you can watch it. All you'll have to do is turn in the final. I mean, I don't know if everybody else agrees.
Yeah, no, you've definitely contributed plenty tonight, Alex, and I'm sure you learned plenty with us as we stumbled our way through this. So we can fire this out tomorrow night, and we'll email you the URL, and you can submit it. I wouldn't say that you slacked off this week at all. So you definitely participated, and we're going to count that.
Okay, well maybe I'll take a look and I'll email you or you guys earlier in the day, and then you can just go over my ideas or whatever, just so I can contribute something.
Sure. And then what I would recommend for all of us, if we get a chance tomorrow sometime during the day, to watch these tutorial videos so we can come into the meeting knowing what to expect.
Exactly, that will be better.
That things I watched them already once, but I don't remember them.
That's all right.
I think
That
we
doesn't
watched
hold
it to
well
figure
for
out all that
me.
main class thing.
If you can't remember them, Wendell, I'm in deep trouble because I'm the grandma of this group. My memory's really shot. I am actually traveling all day tomorrow. I'm moving from one state to the other to visit some more of my kids, but I will do my best before I take off to watch all the videos so that I'm ready, and I should be at the other house in time for the meeting.
Wow. Okay. Well, if you don't show up, Sue, we'll understand as well. And I think again, like Alex, you participated plenty tonight and probably got a lot out of tonight's meeting.
I am very grateful to all of you. I think you're all great.
Thank you, Sue.
You as well, Sue.
I will go ahead and create the invite if you guys want me to for tomorrow. Now that we got the hang of this.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Did I do anything wrong? I don't think I did I?
No, it was great.
You did fine. It's just we didn't know how to connect to it. But now we know. So.
And I'm telling you, I might not remember tomorrow night, but I'll try. I'll do my best.
Well, anyone that's having trouble, we're all here to help each other. So.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So before we go, since we have a plan to finish this assignment tomorrow night, let's finish up with a prayer. Is there anyone who'd like to offer it?
I'd be glad to.
Thank you, Sue.
Okay. Our Father in heaven, we are so grateful that we've been able to meet tonight for our class. We're so thankful for the knowledge and the abilities of those in our group and the willingness to work together. We're thankful for the desire that we have to achieve and to learn and to grow, and pray that Thou bless us as we strive to do this, that we may build our knowledge and that we may prepare ourselves to be instruments in Thy hands for good in this world. We love Thee, Heavenly Father, and are so thankful for all that we have, and pray that Thou bless our efforts. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
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 All right. So I hope.
See you guys.
See you guys. Have a good night. I just hope that when Wendell leaves, that it doesn't kill the session. If it does,
I'll stay for just a little bit longer.
Okay.
I've got because I'm going to go ahead and try to install it as well. Here, while you're
the
talking.
1.8. Okay.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone else. Thank you so much for being here.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll go ahead and share my screen.
Okay.
Okay, while she's doing that, so I'm on the download screen now, and it's the Java SE Development Kit 8 download. The first section is the development kit, and then the rest of it's just the samples, right? So I'm going to do the 64-bit Windows 64-bit download.
Right.
Okay, that's what I did. And it said it had downloaded everything. I don't know how to check.
Can you go to your Google Chrome, go to the little, what's called the hamburger button, over to the right of your speed gauge there? You've got your Hangouts, Pinterest, speed gauge, and then Google Chrome settings right there, that one.
Yeah.
And go to your downloads, about halfway down. Okay, so did you run this EXE here that's at the top, the JDK 8U31?
I thought I did, yes. It went through all the steps.
Okay, so you did do the installation. Okay, so let's do something else. Let's go down to your Windows 8 your little start button there.
This one?
Mm-hmm. And let's go to the hourglass over in the top right by your power button, by your name. Not the hourglass. Not the hourglass. I'm sorry.
The search.
The search bar. Yeah.
Okay.
and search for JDK. I'm sorry, JDK. D is in dog.
Oh, DK.
Java Development Kit. Okay, so it still has the 7. It still has the numbers, the 7.1 or whatever one installed. So erase JDK and go and type add space remove.
Oh, erase this all?
Yeah, erase that and type add space remove.
Probably go appwiz.cpl will probably bring it up as well.
Yeah, add or remove programs at the bottom of the list there. Where was it? Add or remove programs right down here.
Down, there you go. Keep going.
Right there. And we're going to go and we're going to remove the JDK 7. So let's wait for this list to populate. You'll probably have to do the same, Wendell.
Yeah.
See, now I'm really surprised that a software company like Oracle isn't, that when you install a new version that it doesn't uninstall the old one. Although maybe some people want to use both. Okay, so you have both the Java 7 Update 71 and the 64-bit version. We're going to remove both of those. You can only do it one at a time. So select one, uninstall it.
Okay.
I always think it's funny the way they give you how much time is left on the download, and it goes up and down, up and down.
Yeah, I've always found that interesting as well.
Mine started at 6 minutes and went up to 11.
Well, it's all
at about 40 seconds to 38 seconds, couple minutes now.
Yeah, I love when it sits there at 10 seconds for like a minute.
So now, do I need to do this kit one? Also take that out?
Yeah, you'll definitely be taking out the JDK 7 as well. And worst case scenario, if we remove something that needs to be there, we can always go re-download it. But ultimately, yeah, so do the Java SE Development Kit, uninstall that. How are you going on yours, Wendell?
It just downloaded, but I probably should before I run the executable, I need to do the remove.
Sure. Yeah, go with the clean install.
I mean, the other, I can't remember his name, he did it over the top, but okay, so I'm in the add and remove. I was in the add. There we go.
Sure. There might be some way, without doing this, there might be some way. In fact, what we're going to do, Sue, is when you're done removing these, we're actually going to close all your programs and restart your machine.
Okay.
And then we're going to try to launch NetBeans again. And I've got a sneaking suspicion that NetBeans is going to say, I can't find the JDK because we uninstalled it. So it may have us choose a new JDK. Now, if there's some other way, the following applications should be closed before continuing the installation. So go ahead and close your NetBeans right now.
Okay, so we don't need to uninstall the standard Java. We're just doing the SE. No, it looks like both the SE and the update have the same install date.
Yeah, they would have come together. Java is one of those programs that you probably have on your machine anyways, and some people may still have Java 7. But I don't know if that necessarily interferes with the development kit. But personally, I like to keep them the same. If I'm on the dev kit for 8, I want my Java, just the Java program on my computer to run 8 as well.
So the standard Java will have to be updated as well?
Do you only have Java 7 right now?
Well, so I have Java 7. I'm talking the add-in for the browsing. because that's 51. What I installed is apparently is Java 7 update 72 64-bit. So there's two updates for that.
If that's all you have for Java, go ahead and leave it for now. Just make sure your Java dev kit is 8, and that you only have 8 for the Java dev kit.
Because I'm thinking I'm going to have to remove both the update and the dev kit, because the update is listed as 64-bit, same version. It doesn't match my other one.
Okay.
So,
yeah, go ahead and share your screen now. Sue, you're restarting, right?
Yeah, I'll close everything down and I'll be back.
Okay.
Hopefully I can find you again.
Just go back to your Google Plus, and you should be able to click on that same link to join the Hangout again.
Okay, great. Thanks.
No problem.
Alright. I'm not sure what screen it's going to share, though.
It gives you a choice.
I got 2 monitors.
Yeah, see, for some reason, when I was trying to share my screens, if I pick the wrong option, it tries to open a new Google Chrome window and then crashes Chrome altogether. So be careful when you do that. Yeah.
Okay, see if that's the right screen. There we go.
Okay, yeah, I can see your program.
All right, so what I'm thinking is I'm going to uninstall the kit first, and then the update, and then I'll reinstall the executable. Does that sound good?
Yeah, I just the dev kit is separate from the Java program. Although you said they have the same install date. Okay.
Well, and this one's showing. If you look at it, the standard one, the add-in is 1.7 update 51. But then you go down here, this update is Java 7 update 72 64-bit, and then Java Standard Edition Development Kit 7 update 72. So these match. I'm thinking, and they have the same date, so I'm guessing they got installed at the same time.
Sure.
And it looks like this one installed last, so I'm going to go in reverse order. I don't know.
Okay.
Let's wish me luck.
Sure. Okay, so just to let you know what I've got, I still have Java 7 update 71 on my machine, but I also have Java 8 update 25, and then the Java SE Development Kit 8 update 25. So you're right. You shouldn't have to delete your other Java 7 stuff if you want to keep that on your PC, but you should have, and those were installed on the same date. So yeah, you're gonna end up in the same boat as me here once you do that.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I mean, I did an update. I was able to link to with that workaround that we did.
Right, and I saw you were able to push back up.
Yeah, I was able to push, and no problem there.
But she couldn't for some reason, which I don't understand, because I added her as a collaborator, and yeah, she was still getting that error. So.
Well, I tell you, when I made that same mistake when I was trying to do the test applications from the last week's assignments. When we were first doing our, we're supposed to push up two apps, Java apps. I followed the instructions off of another one. I didn't see the address part of it. And so I did it the first time I did it without the .get, and I had problems with it after that. So I almost wonder if that's where the problem is because it seems to mess things up.
Yeah, I don't know. One of the things that I struggled with was the get ignore file. That one didn't exist even when I created my project, but in the 2 video tutorials it did. And so all of a sudden I'm trying to work with my repository, and it was having trouble because there wasn't a get ignore file. And so then I looked at that. Somebody had questions about it, but there was some instructions on how to edit your get ignore file. I had to create one from scratch and add that code in that they suggested. So so I've had my share of troubles with it too, but yeah.
Well, my biggest problem is that we've had the way they set up the assignments in the last couple weeks. They've been chaotic, and so I would start on one and end up it ended up screwing me up because I would realize, oh no, it came in later down. They had a better, like the synchronizing and stuff like that. They had the tutorial videos. If you went down further, you could watch that.
Right.
I mean, it was just so much to take in. I'd forget where I had last seen it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and install, run, next, and we'll just leave it.
Yeah, just leave
default.
that. Mm-hmm.
And who knows how long it'll take. I think part of the download variations were because we were talking back and forth and probably taking bandwidth.
Oh, sure. What was I gonna say? Yeah, when we had to install NetBeans for the Java development, I had already installed NetBeans last semester for the front end web development class, 230, but I only installed the PHP modules. So then when I went back and installed the Java modules for this, it downloaded the new NetBeans version of 8.0.2 when I had the 7.1.2 or something like that from last semester, and it didn't mesh the two. So if I opened up, I had like two versions of NetBeans on my machine. If I opened up one, I could develop in Java. If I opened up the other one, I could develop in PHP. So I found a way that I could import the PHP stuff from the older version into my newer version, and so now I've just got one development environment, which is preferable. But it's just frustrating, because these classes they can't keep up, and you either provide a static version for everybody to run, and break that between semesters. I don't see why they couldn't do that. I don't see why they couldn't have like a content delivery network where they host the version of Java and the version of NetBeans that they want you to run, and they only update it once a year or something like that.
There might be a license agreement you can issue there as well, though. Then you're almost running a private, instead of being a public version of the software, you're kind of taking it upon yourself to, I don't know.
Well, but it's just version control. I mean, even Adobe has ways that you can get to old versions, although they started locking that down. But you used to be able to get to old versions of their creative suite, and Photoshop or Lightbox or whatever you wanted. That you used to be able to just find the old versions of it, because of course they're trying to push and sell their new version, so they weren't really concerned if you were getting demos of the old versions. But
all right, so I've got the Java now. It's showing up with the Java 8 update and the SE.
Now, if I would make the same recommendation to you that I did to Sue, which is restart your PC, and then when you get back in, come back, join the group again, and then try to start up NetBeans. Although
I think mine is going to end it, so I'll wait. I'll wait on that.
I'm back.
Yes, let's look at Sue. What's going on, Sue?
It says cannot locate, just as you said.
Okay, do you want to try to use default version? Go ahead and click yes on that. Let's see what the default version ends up being. What does that say?
I get the same error even without rebooting.
Okay.
It just says it can't locate it. Oh, hold on, it's starting.
Sure. Go ahead and click yes. Thinking.
It's taking a long time, sorry.
That's probably because of the Hangout.
I I also have all these Adobe programs on my computer which slow things down, but I need them for my other class.
Oh, sure. But if they're not running, they shouldn't be slowing anything down. You don't have them open, so.
You think I should do the same thing?
Shut
Or
down?
should I wait? No, well,
No,
I don't want to shut down.
Oh yeah, no, no.
I've got the same thing going on. I on it just for the heck of it. Brought it to bring up NetBeans, and it's giving the exact same error. So, and she's already rebooted, so I suspect it's gonna.
Who are we looking at here? This is Sue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is me.
Okay. So let's try again. Why don't you go out to the GitHub repository, get the clone URL, or well, let's see if it's still here. No, it's not. Oh, it's still populating stuff. Okay. Interesting. Click on team again.
Now it's there.
Git clone. There we go.
Okay, and it's got the .git, and that looks
Yeah.
right. Make
And
sure
then
your
it's
password's
saving
right.
it to your NetBeans project.
Master.
Sorry, Jocelyn. Sorry,
Good.
so late.
Go ahead and click next.
Soon.
And finish.
Hey, it did it without the error. It's looking
Looks-
like it.
Yeah, looks like it. Battleship project was cloned. Do you want to open it? Yeah.
All right,
Wonderful.
so I think I'm just gonna run it.
It worked.
Okay, so go ahead and expand your
Okay,
Battleship.
so I
symbol.
need to.
Click on that little plus to the. There you go. You click on the little plus to the left of source packages, and then Battleship 260. You can double click it too, I think. Yeah. And
There you
then
go.
there's our classes. So go ahead and open up Battleship 260 Java. We just want to make sure you can push an update. So go ahead and scroll down. It should have everything we just did. You just cloned the. Yeah, so it's all there. So come down to where the comments were for the different group members. Put
Right
a new.
there.
Yeah, put a new return after Wendell or go before Alex. That works. And do a double whack there.
Okay.
And save.
Yeah, I did not delete the Battleship game. Should have probably did that.
Oh yeah.
Now I need to.
You're going to want to go at the project level all the way up to the top of Battleship 260.05, and you're going to want to first. You shouldn't have to pull it because you just did it. So what you want to first do is do git commit.
All right.
And yeah, it's going to show you
I
what
might
file
just
you
try to-
changed. You changed that one file. Committing finished. Wonderful. Now you're going to go back and right-click on Battleship and do git push.
I might just try to do a pull and leave it and see what happens. Select next.
Oh, because you already have the project.
Yeah.
Let's wait till after. Sue pushes, and then see if when you pull, you get Sue's information. Next, and finish. Let's see what it does here. I want your password. Good to go. It's looping again here. What is the problem? Click on proxy configuration for me, would you? Click on test connection. Says it's
It
fine.
says it's done.
Weird. Click OK.
Try
And
again.
yeah, click OK again. Okay, for the sake of this, let's go ahead and cancel this. And Yeah. It's still saying you're not authorized.
It could be a.
Are you logged into GitHub right now? Not that you should have to be, but okay.
I'm not.
But before we do this, what I wanted to try is, it said you always have to pull first. Even though we just cloned it, let's pull first. Let's go to right-click on Battleship, go down to Git, Remote,
Oops.
and let's do pull. And that's where we want it to be. Finish.
And it's got to be using the password to do that, right?
Pulling Battleship, and it cancels it. Why is it canceling it?
Maybe no update. It's given because it doesn't have any update to give. Pull. Here, why don't I?
Maybe,
why don't I make a change and see if that'll let her update it then? So we want. I'm going to go ahead and pull first. So Git, remote, pull, next, finish. Okay, and it pulled it. Okay, now, which one we want to change? The first one?
I don't know. Can you share your screen, Wendell, so I can see what's going on?
Okay. Trying to. Come on. I've hit the green arrow a few times. I think it's just stuck thinking. Okay, so we want this one. Share.
There we go. Okay.
Okay. So I've already done the pull.
Right, and we've got updated classes there.
So I've already brought this one up. And we'll just do, or actually, it might be better if I do this one just because there's no comments on this one.
Sure.
All right, so then we'll just drop a comment anywhere. Oops.
Don't get rid of my curly brace. All right.
Stop it. All right. Test. Here. Test. All right, and then pull this, save it, and then we're going to do.
You want to commit it?
Yes. So we want to right click.
on.
No, do I do it on this level or on the level above it?
From what I understand, we're supposed to do it at the project level.
So like here.
Mm-hmm. And the only reason I think for that is because you might be editing multiple classes. You might be making lots of changes to the game before you push. But right now, you're only affecting one file. But that may not be the case in the future.
Commit. It went on the other screen. Sorry, I should.
Oh, your console.
Yeah, the commit one did. So you didn't see it, but it went through and it committed it.
Okay.
I'll try to pull the next one over if it comes up. All right. So now the next option is Git. Oh, come on, it's like
I do that all the time.
Remote, and then we're going to do push.
Right.
And it's got the right location.
It's got your name and then my
It says master
update.
next,
Origin master update.
finish. Okay.
And what does your console say?
It's it didn't come up with any other window for that.
Click on this. You're on the Git repository browser tab right here. Click on the one that says Output Battleship 20 down in the bottom right, your bottom right pane. See how it has two tabs?
Yeah.
See how it has two? No, the tabs. Right now you're on the Git repository browser tab.
Oh.
To the left of it. No. Bottom right pane.
Here. Bottom right.
And then at the top, across the top, there's the Git. So click on the one to the left. Okay,
Okay,
so
finish.
pushing Battleship finished. There we go. So if I come over here and I do a refresh, it should show a new commit, 10 commits. And you didn't do a commit message, but it was authored by you.
I did a
So
commit.
yeah,
I did do a commit, but it went off the screen when I hit the commit. Is all it.
well, let me show you my
Yeah,
let me share my screen with you here to show you. Oh, come on. Whew. So I come back here, 10 commits, authored 2 minutes ago. Here it is. This is what you added. And if for some reason it doesn't like if there's no new line at the end of the file, we'll have to remember that. It just throws that little error.
Is it because where I put the comment? You said.
Yeah. Oh, look at it. Wait, did it delete those and add these? You may want to commit and push the entire project because now you're operating in 1.8, not 1.7. It seems to not like. It seems to have something here in the NB project properties.
So is it showing? Is it showing that I'm in 1.8 now? I can't see your screen very well. It's like really small text for some reason.
The red lines here say these are things that I think were deleted, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Here, let me see. Split. Yeah, see, so now it's saying Java deprecation false, Java processor path, but now it's saying Java source 1.7, Java target 1.7 when it used to say 1.8. Maybe that's because you already were using the old one. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, let me go ahead and remove the Battleship, I guess.
Sure. While you do that, I'm gonna push the project up again from mine. I'll make some small change and push mine up. See if that changes it back to 1.8. Then once you've deleted the project, you can re-pull it down.
Okay, I'm gonna delete the project.
Sue, how are you doing?
Do I want to delete the?
Oh, sorry. What?
I have this now. I was trying to pull it.
You were trying to merge commit is needed to synchronize current branch with origin master. Do you want to rebase the current branch onto origin master or merge it with origin master? I would say merge because what it's probably talking about is Wendell's changes.
Oh, okay. So just merge?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you just did a poll, Sue?
I did.
Okay. Hey, Wendell, I'm sorry, we cut you off when I went over to Sue. What were you trying to say?
No, it came up wanting to know if I wanted to delete the files associated, but it went so quick it just disappeared without letting me select it. So.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Any files associated with the project, you want it all gone.
Yeah. So I got it. So when I closed it, I went ahead and I deleted it, and then I closed the NetBeans and went back up. It gave that same message that she got and that I got at the beginning.
Sure.
So.
Okay.
Let me close it again.
Sue, you're still having trouble.
To see.
Okay.
Yeah, mine is still giving me the not authorized.
Not authorized, but I have you in here, Sue Francis, CIT 260. You're in here as in the approved.
Yeah.
Okay.
So every time I close and reopen, it's still showing cannot locate the Java installation in specified JDK home. And then it's pointing to C program files Java JDK 1702 1.7.0/72. I might have to uninstall the NetBeans.
Hold on a second. Okay. Can you ignore that message or bypass that message and get in? Because I think here, let me show you my screen.
Okay.
If you come up here in NetBeans to Tools and go to Java Platforms, you may have multiple platforms here that you can choose from, and you can go and select your 1.8. Make sure you have that selected.
Okay, so show it again.
So are you into NetBeans?
Yeah, well, it's finalizing, but yeah.
Okay, so go
There
up
we
to go up to Tools.
Okay.
Go to Java Platforms, about halfway down.
Okay.
And what does it have selected there?
It says 1.8 is default.
But every time you restart NetBeans, it's saying it can't find it?
No, it said it can't find the 1.7. It's all 1.8. Like when you go to the classes and the sources, everything in there is now referencing Java 8. So I don't know why something's still trying to go out and grab the. I wonder if maybe I should just delete my other
projects.
Probably they're just Hello World and stuff.
Maybe you can change the platform for the projects. Let's see, properties, sources, libraries. Yeah, Java platform. So go to the projects and see if you can change the Java platform. Manage platforms.
Okay, so properties, sources, and then where'd you go from there?
So on a project, let's see, properties, sources, and then libraries. So to libraries.
Oh, so you went up to the top menu.
And then over to the right is Java platform. And see, that's mine. I'm sorry. But do you see where I am? So libraries, and then in this area you've got the JDK.
So can I do that from the root of each of my projects, or like you're on the actual file?
I would recommend doing it on the entire project.
Okay, so I'm highlighting one that I have called test. Okay, so then I go up to, from there, I'm going to select what next.
You know what? Do something for me real quick before you right-click on test. You should have two. You should have two folders under test, right? You should have one called source packages and one called libraries, right?
Yeah.
Expand libraries. Tell me what it says. Does it say JDK 1.8 or 1.7?
It says 1.8. It says 1.8 default. So maybe I need to just go through and find out if one of my old files is actually still linked to one. They all say 1.8.
Then I would either Google the error message or try and get online with tech support or talk to the teacher or something.
Well, I mean, I think it'll let me work. I'm just worried that it might be messing up your stuff.
Well, not if you. So if you go to the libraries on the Battleship project and it's saying it's up and it's in 1.8 and you can push and pull with no problem, I think we're fine. I think for some reason.
I'm just worried that it was adding those files up there that you saw. Yeah, I mean.
On the commits.
Yeah. Well, and that I need a reboot. So I'll try that later, and maybe we can talk about it a little bit tomorrow. So we're meeting at 8 Pacific time, right?
8 Pacific time, yeah.
Okay.
So let me see here. I want to check something here real quick. Let's see. CIT 260. Battleship MB project. Project properties. Oh, hold on. Notepad++. Will that work? Yeah, okay, so I looked at mine, and it says Java Source 1.8, Java C Target 1.8. So when I push my project back up, it's actually going to overwrite those 1.7 files. The ones that we saw in your commit where it overwrote my 1.8 with your 1.7.
Well, I wonder if that commit might have been from the old one. Did it have the date, the time current?
Yeah, it was the one that said 11 minutes ago.
All right. Okay, so it is somehow grabbing the hold of the wrong one.
Right. So now the funny thing is, before anybody pulls from this project again, I should upload mine, because otherwise you're going to pull down the 1.7 again, and then when you push, it's going to push the 1.7 back up, even if I push. So let me do a pull and a push real quick. No, I'm not going to do a pull. I'm just going to...
Yeah, just a push.
Right. Okay, so I'll do that, and then actually, I can just edit it and get. But either way, I'll make sure that it's right, and then from then on, when we pull down, we'll have the 1.8 version.
Okay.
All right, I kind of left Sue hanging. Sue, where are you at?
It will not allow me to push.
Okay, do you know that the credentials that it keeps prompting you for, do you know that those are correct? Are you certain that your username and password are correct?
You could probably go to GitHub and try to log in just to make sure.
Okay, let me do that.
Because it should be the same password, but it seems like it should be using those credentials when she's downloading it.
But you can pull anonymously. You can pull any public repository down without actually authenticating. So it may just skip the authentication if it's not correct.
Okay, so you're going to want to log out of this.
Okay, now I'm really worried that I am using the wrong. Let me try a different. Yeah, let me try using a different password. Hold on. Because I had to change my password in iLearn. And
that has nothing to do with Git.
Yeah, I know, but I think that I may have changed it in here as well.
Okay, so instead of clicking on the one that's select configured Git repository locations, no, go ahead, stay in that menu.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. So go to remote, push, and then select the second radio button there, the specify Git repository location.
Change this.
Yeah, you got one more space there. There you go.
Okay.
All right, so now go ahead and click next. No, keep it on that radio button. And click next, and finish. Hey, it did it. It was just your password.
Shoot, I'm sorry, you guys. I've used that password for so long that I just typed it in. I forgot I changed it on everything.
No worries. See, now you shouldn't have to select that second radio button. You should just be able to do normal pushes, and it'll use your credentials. Okay, wonderful.
Here,
I'm glad.
Do me a favor though. Let's have you close your NetBeans and reopen it, because I think you're going to get that message.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, cannot locate Java installation specified JDK home. C programs Java JDK 1.7. Do you want to try to use default version? Go ahead and click no. I want to see what happens when you click. Have you clicked no before, Wendell?
No.
I want to see if it still loads if you click no. Do me a favor there, Sue. Can you go down to your NetBeans logo, right-click on it for me? Now right-click on NetBeans IDE and do properties.
You think the link's changed?
No, it's targeting the right thing.
NetBeans 8.02.
Okay, so let's go ahead and cancel. And then just cancel that window, close it, whatever you want to do. And launch your NetBeans again. I'm going to Google that error and see what we can find. Okay. So, JDK home cannot locate. Let's see what Stack Overflow has to say. Update the following file. Replace 7.x with your NetBeans version. Change the following line to point it to where your Java installation is. Okay, I'm going to share my screen, and I want to try and walk you through this. So, okay, so you want to go.
close
Where are you?
NetBeans first.
Yeah, go ahead and close NetBeans. We don't want it open if you have it open. And you want to navigate to right here, this C programs files, NetBeans, but you're going to look for your version number. You guys probably have 8.0.2 or whatever. And then
It's
I guess
so small.
I'm sorry. So
I don't know why.
I'll tell you what it is. Here, I'll copy it
Sometimes
into
it comes
the
out
chat.
bigger.
Copy it into the
It's what's
chat.
weird is it sometimes comes out bigger and then sometimes it comes out. That's a lot better over there.
Okay,
So we want to navigate there.
where am I going? I have no idea what I'm doing.
Look in the group chat over here.
I see that, yeah.
So you're gonna navigate to that area. You're gonna open your Windows Explorer and go to C, Program Files, NetBeans. Although your program files might be NetBeans might be installed on Program Files x86. I don't know. It'll depend on
Okay,
what.
so I have to go here.
Let me come over to your screen and see. Go back to your desktop because I think you can get to your File Explorer from the desktop. Yeah, down in the bottom left, just to the right of your Windows icon, File Explorer.
Okay, now.
All right, so then go to C and Program Files. Let's try the Program Files folder first.
I think it's there.
And we're looking for NetBeans. Here's NetBeans 8.0.2.
Okay.
And then you're looking for an ETC folder, which is right up here.
Okay, got it.
And then the NetBeans configuration folder. And you're going to want to open that in like a text editor. So you may have to right-click.
Just put it in Notepad.
Yeah, edit with Notepad or Notepad++, whatever you got, whatever you want to do.
Holy crap. I don't have Notepad++, and that's... It's pretty cryptic.
Oh, just cancel an update for now. You're not going to use that. Okay, so now do a Control F so that you can do a find. And what you're looking to find is do NetBeans, all one word, all lowercase, _ JDK home.
JDK home, all one word?
All one word, yeah, JDK home. And just do find next on that.
Okay, got it.
Can't find the text.
Find it.
NetBeans.
Yeah,
With
yeah, it's showing up as having the 1702072.
right, and you're going to want to replace that with the actual JDK version that you have now.
Yeah, which...
But I don't know what the full extension of that JDK. I can tell you. Hold on, let me go to mine.
Actually, it should be in the address bar where we open this file up. Because that's C, Program Files, Java. Well, Program Files, I can... Actually, I just opened another computer. C.
I don't know where to go from where I'm at.
Files.
Just stay where you are. It's okay. So here's what I have. Okay, so it's going to be the version number, or I'm sorry, the update number. For 1 point, it was like, well, in your add remove programs, do you remember how it had like JDK 1.8 and then it had update? In my case, it was update 25. Do you remember that, Wendell?
I found the file. What it needs to point to is JDK 1.8.0_31.
That's for you. You've got 3.1. You've got update number 31. So we want to make sure that we know which update Sue is on here. She may not be on 31. I'm on 25. So.
Let's just have her go to drop back to the program files, and then go to Java, and it's right there.
So go back to the.
I go to Java.
Or you can even, yeah. So drop back to C.
Come down here to C. There you go.
Then program files. And then Java. And there you have.
And she's 31 too. You both downloaded it tonight, so yeah, of course you have both the same version. So now go back to your text editor over here, and what you're looking to do is replace where it says JDK at the end of that NetBeans _ JDK home. It says equals C program files Java JDK 1.7.0 _71. You want to replace 1.7.071 with 1.8.0 _ what was it, Wendell? 31?
Yeah, it's JDK 1.8.0 _31. So 0 and then _ 31.
Okay, so then you can close your find box. You can save this save this file.
How do you save?
Up in the top left, there's the disk, or you can do from the menu save.
All right, so now let's try this out. Bam.
Please check if this
Save
file
failed.
Went right in.
Okay, you may not have admin privileges on this. Go ahead and click OK. Copy that little snippet, the 1.8.0. Just copy it to your clipboard.
This here?
Yeah, that'll work. Just do a Control-C. Go ahead and close this file.
Now, did you upload it yet, or have you been too busy with us?
Did I? Oh, no, I have not uploaded my version.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure before I cloned it, I was going to let you finish that.
Right. Okay, so now go back to your program files on the left here, Sue, and then go, instead of to Java, go back to NetBeans and go to the etc folder again, and but right-click on it. Oh,
oops. Sorry.
No worries. And actually, so it's not giving us a run in administrative mode. So let's do it a different way.
Try to hold down the shift when you right-click. See if that gives it to you.
Okay. Shift.
Shift.
And then right-click.
All right. So you're gonna have to.
Let's do it a different way. Let's go to Notepad and open Notepad in administrator mode, and then we'll navigate to that NetBeans confidential file.
Good idea.
So start.
Oh gosh, I'm keeping my kids up here. I'm sorry, guys.
I am super sorry to them for apologizing. This shouldn't take much longer. This is the one thing we need to fix in order to get you going.
Right. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
No problem.
This is going to be the longest YouTube video ever.
Is it actually recording?
So now where am I meant to be going?
Okay.
It is still recording.
So go to your start menu. Your Windows little icon there in the bottom left. Are you still with us, Sue? Sue, are you there?
Sue.
I think we lost her. So yours worked, huh? You have administrator rights. You were able to edit your file. Okay.
Yep. I was able to go in. Yeah, this is my work laptop, and the HP gives me admin rights to it. But I don't have to do anything special. All right.
Well, I know my wife's anxious to get to bed.
Yeah, my wife is too. She's dying.
So let's. I don't want to leave Sue hanging here, but let's. I'll just send her a quick email and just say, get in touch with us tomorrow. We'll walk you through it, and I can do a hangout with her tomorrow on my lunch break or something if that works for her. No, she's gonna be driving all day. Boy. Well, hopefully she comes to the group meeting tomorrow night and we can resolve it there.
She actually called me earlier, so I actually have her phone number. If we could probably it's probably a cell phone, so we could probably even text her.
Yeah, just send her a text. Say we'll resolve it tomorrow night.
Okay.
So, is it just me, or do these problems seem to happen to the people who are like not as capable of solving them? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
I know she's a smart woman and she's keeping up and all that, but you know this kind of stuff, it can just cripple people if they don't know how to handle like an error or an installation problem. You know, and it's always like, well, mine went just fine. But you know.
The thing is this would have could have all been avoided had they had better instructions on the page.
Oh yeah.
Because
totally
they showed the download of the SE, but then they showed they showed two different. They were saying to do one thing and showing another, like right below it.
Right.
So
the videos wouldn't match the text instructions. Yeah, it was a mess.
Yeah, so I think a lot of it's like you said, the stuff's changing so quick, it can't keep up.
Right.
So I'm gonna go ahead. I will stop broadcasting.
Okay.
I will send her a text and let her know that we will work on it tomorrow.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good night, Wendell.
Good night.